Hi, good morning, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us for this pre-departure webinar for University of Plymouth International College down here in Plymouth in the southwest of England. Thank you very much for joining. We'll start with some introductions. My name is Tim Gutzel. I'm Director of Marketing and Admissions for the college. And then my colleagues are...
Hi there, my name is Toby Joseph Johnson. I'm Manager of College Services here at the University of Plymouth International College.
My name is Ola Shubomi. I'm the Student Recruitment Coordinator for the University of Plymouth and its college here in Lagos, Nigeria.
Hi everyone, I am Maria. I'm Student Recruitment Coordinator for the University of Plymouth International College. I work remotely. I'm in Port Harcourt.
Hi there, my name's Amber. I'm the Marketing and Student Coordinator here in Plymouth.
Okay, so there's a lot of information that we want to share with you this morning. This gives you an idea of the agenda. As we go through, please feel free to use the chat or the Q&A if you have questions to ask as we're going through, and we'll certainly leave time at the end for any extra questions you have. But you can see here, this is an idea of the things that we're going to cover over the next half an hour or so. So starting with some introductions and meet the team. Then we'll describe to you the student hub services here at the university. We'll talk about your accommodation options and how to book, go through all the important dates, including the arrival dates in the UK and how to get to us, how to reach us. We'll talk about visas, about the medical centre, all of the induction week activities that we're going to be providing. We'll take you through the other semester dates, introduce you to your representatives from a student union, also talk to you about the different social media outlets that we have so that you can keep in touch with us at all times. So we're lively on social media, so we'll talk you through that as well. So that's kind of our agenda for the next half an hour or so.
Thank you, Tim. So I'll just give everyone a brief introduction to the Student and Academic Services team, otherwise known as the Student Experience team. We are the first main point of contact for yourselves when you arrive in the UK. We're there to support you, help you with your registrations, help you with your enrollments, accommodation queries, all help you throughout your student journey with us here at UPIC and also when you progress across to the university. We're a very experienced team, and we've seen so many students from different backgrounds join us here at Britain's Ocean City, and we just try to give you the softest landing you have before you start across at the university. Our opening hours are from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday. As you can see, we also have a reception phone, 588-095. That you can contact us within those working time hours. And also you can contact us via student.support@upic.plymouth.ac.uk. The student services team at the college consists of about 4 people. But also at the student hub in the university library, we also have a student services central team. These are based, very professional individuals that are based and can cover different areas, including welfare, counseling, disability and dyslexia services, to student center and immigration. There's also a careers department available within the student hub that can assist with, writing up your CV, preparing you for interviews. It's located in the university library, quite central on campus. And yeah, the team are contactable, from Monday to Friday, similar hours to us, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Tim, would you like to say a little bit about the Britain's Ocean City? Why is it called Britain's Ocean City?
Thanks, Toby. Yeah, be very happy to. So Britain's Ocean City, we have a coastal location here in the southwest of England on the south coast. Britain's Ocean City, because if you were to set sail from Plymouth, head due west, you would travel across the Atlantic and land in North America. If you travel due south, there are ferries to France and to Spain. So through the ocean location, we're actually really globally connected. A good sized city, population of about 250,000 people. But to be honest, it feels a bit larger than that because it's a kind of regional center for lots of towns and cities around us. So lots of big city facilities, shopping, cafes, restaurants, cinema, theatre. So a big city feel, but with a coastal location. And with some great countryside inland as well, on Dartmoor, which is an area of outstanding natural beauty. So great place, not just to study, but a great place to live. Described by GQ magazine as the coolest little city by the sea.
Fantastic, Tim. And yeah, so we're looking at the campus map here. As you can see, the campus is centrally located to the whole city, right in the middle there. After this slide, we're going to take you on a little virtual tour so you can have a good glimpse of what what life is like in Britain's Ocean City. And I'll ask some questions to the team here, some of us who are based in Plymouth, what they think, where their favorite areas are. So if you bear with me while I stop sharing my screen, I will take you on a quick tour. While we're waiting, please feel free to pop any questions you have in the Q&A. I think there's a question there already.
So you're launching your drone right now, Toby?
Yep, we have liftoff.
Excellent. We're going to give you an aerial view of the city and of the university, and you can see, we're starting on the Hoe. So as we said, coastal location. The red and white striped lighthouse that you can see there, that's a real icon of a city. So most people in the UK, if you show them that picture, they'll know that you're in Plymouth. That area there is also where we hold our graduation every year, which is a fantastic event with the sea as a backdrop. In the summer, on a nice warm summer's day, fantastic place to graduate. There's a magnificent marquee that goes up there. So yeah, fantastic backdrop for a graduation ceremony. So hopefully in a few years' time, that's where you'll be graduating from Plymouth. And that waterfront location, that's only 10 minutes walk from our campus as well. So if you were to turn from here and go back inland, 10 minutes walk through the city centre brings you back to UPIC, the college, which is on the edge of the university campus, which is right in the city centre, with all of the shopping and accommodation and all the other facilities right on our doorstep.
And it's not just about walking and the commute to the university and the college itself. It's also some of the various activities that are available across the city. There's a ferry port on the I believe east side of the city that comes in from France and Spain. With that, there's obviously hospitality opportunities for students who want to work in some part-time jobs. So Plymouth is home to is a big tourist location during the summertime months. So quite a lot during this period around here, which is Sutton Harbour. Quite a lot of students get little part-time jobs in local cafes and shops. You've been for lunch several times here, haven't you, Tim?
Absolutely. I can't afford all the best places that you go to. I can't afford to have my yacht in the harbour as you do, Toby. But yeah, great facility, lovely place to be. And again, that's only a few minutes walk from the university and the college.
Yeah, and there are many internationals in Plymouth, aren't there, Tim?
Very diverse community, absolutely. So for a city this size, it's a remarkably diverse community. Two of the largest institutions in the city are the university and the hospital, which is a great regional centre. And both of those, the university and hospital, are full of international students. So more than 2,000 international students at the university and staff from all around the world as well. So a very diverse community for a city of this size.
Fantastic. And how many students would you say are in a class here at the college when I'd be studying here if I was a student, Tim?
Well, it's a big advantage of coming to UPIC first is that we do offer small class sizes. So we're a relatively small college aiming to have a 500 student community in the next couple of years, but we would never have more than 25 students in a class. And lots of opportunities to speak with your tutors outside of the class as well. So there's the formal curriculum, small class sizes, lots of contact hours as well, more with us than you will get when you move on to the university. Lots of contact hours, lots of support outside the classroom as well if you need it, with English language, with maths. Yeah, and all of the support as well from a student services team, student experience team, who are there in the college. You can come and talk to them at any time. So yeah, any help that you need with your studies, with life outside the classroom, we're here to help and provide that, as Toby mentioned, that soft landing to living and studying in the UK.
Thank you so much, Tim. And in regards to, I was just hovering over the Students' Union itself. It's home to over 300 clubs and societies. Like Tim mentioned, Plymouth is very diverse. And with that diverse, we have the advantage that there's so many different societies to suit different nationalities as well. Newly formed Nepalese Student Society launched very recently, earlier this year, with one of the presidents being actually our student rep here. Our student reps will be available for all students who are arriving in May, and they essentially are your voice. So they will be helping you during the orientation and enrollment week, showing you around, taking you on campus tours, and helping you with your accommodation. So yeah, we're really looking forward to joining you here. So please, if you're here, what I'll do is I'll copy this URL and I'm going to pop it into the chat so everybody will have access to it. Have a feel, click on the link, take a tour with the drone itself and explore the city, explore where you could possibly be studying in the next few weeks.
Shall we have a look at the accommodation while we're here, Toby?
Yeah, definitely.
And give an idea of how close it all is to the main university campus, as you can see.
Absolutely. Let's do it. Let's start at Mary Newman Hall, which is a on-campus accommodation.
Almost all of the accommodation is en suite. You can see there's a bathroom there. So you have your own room, your own bathroom facilities, no need to share. What you would share is a kind of kitchen and social space with a number of other students. So this is all accommodation which is on the university campus, managed by the university. UPIC, we have an arrangement with a local letting agency called Clever, and they can be even more flexible than the university about length of contract and arrival date and that kind of thing. So particularly useful for students arriving in May, which is kind of in the middle or towards the end of the academic year. Lots of flexibility on accommodation. But you can see all of the accommodation is comfortable, it's good quality. Looking at a shared kitchen, social space there, as I mentioned. Everyone has their own cupboard for their food. Fridges as well and freezers. And all of this, just to remind you again, is very close to the campus. No need to get a bus or a train. No need to even have a car or a bicycle of your own. Everything is a very short and easy walk. And an easy walk to Drake Circus as well, which is the local shopping mall, right in the centre of the city, just across the road from the university. Lots of big brand name shops in there.
Absolutely. And I like that you mentioned no need to necessarily take public transportation, but we have just, in the city have just launched a new scheme with bicycles, electric bicycles right across the city. Another mode of transportation, should you wish to, take a barrel bike right across the city and cycle from your accommodation into the university. You wouldn't need to, but in case you wanted another form of transportation, that's just been launched. So it makes it quite nice, a different experience, I would say.
Very low cost, isn't it? All you need to do is download the app, and then you can just pick a bike up from one of the many stands around the city now.
Yep, that's correct. So
Thank
yeah,
you.
please keep on pumping your questions through the Q&A. I can see a few more coming through. That's fantastic. Like I mentioned, I've put the URL to this campus virtual tour on the chat. So save that, have a play yourself. And
should we have a look inside the Roland Levinsky building while you're hovering?
yeah,
It's
sure.
a landmark building here called Roland Levinsky building, right in the center of the campus. You can see it's architecturally very striking. There's even a cinema in there, and there are regular films shown, as well as lecture theatres. There's the virtual reality, so the kind of computer games design studio in there. That can be kind of fun to go and watch. The Art School of Architecture, huge open plan area, lots of design work going on in there, very interesting as well. The building you can see on the left of the picture there is actually the original School of Navigation, and that's where the university has its roots, founded in the late 19th century as a School of Navigation, now developed through the 100 and more years since into the large modern university that it is now. Where are you taking us now, Toby?
I'm just showing you how blue the skies are. They are
And
currently
they are
blue
very
at the
blue
moment.
today.
There's a fact that Plymouth, is one of the more warmer cities in the UK as well. We get as of yesterday, we just moved an hour in front of everyone. So this is British summertime, the first day of summer. So yeah, the weather, hopefully, fingers crossed, will continue like it is today. So I'll just stop sharing my screen and just come back to the presentation. You mentioned a bit about accommodation, Tim. So how would a student book accommodation then?
Well, you can use the university's accommodation, or as you can see in the bottom left of that slide, we have an arrangement with Clever Student Lets, which offers a lot of flexibility in choice, in the time that you start, the length of contract that you have, typically around £100 a week and upwards. So compared with many other university cities in the UK, highly competitive prices. One thing I would mention is that the university and the college, we're getting busier all the time. So in the past, we would have said, no need to hurry, plenty of accommodation available, but you do need to get on this now quite early to make sure that you have access to all of the different choices available. And there are lots of choices, but don't hang around. The earlier you book, the more choice you'll have. If you book through Clever, as you can see there's a complimentary bedding pack for every student who arrives, help moving in as well. Just let us know when you're arriving and let Clever know when you're arriving as well, just so we can make sure there is somebody there to meet you. Easier inside office hours, obviously, but we can be flexible around that as well.
Yeah, so yeah, absolutely, that's correct. The other thing on here on this slide we're seeing now is just the general process from when you book accommodation online to what happens, so the step-by-step process. So when the confirmation is received, then a tenancy agreement is sent, then at which point, once you're happy, you read the terms. It's very important. One thing we always advise students is that they read their tenancy agreement so they understand absolutely what should be provided with them in that agreement, and to understand their rights. If there's anything that they want further information on, they can contact the Clever Student Let's team, or they can come to UPIC and we can have a look at that for them. They will then ask for the payments to be received, at which point you need to do a right to rent. A right to rent is something you do when you arrive in the UK, because you'd need access to your BRP, which is your biometric residence permit. So when you all get your visas, you get what you call an entry clearance vignette. That's just to get you into the UK. But at which point after, you will get a BRP. That BRP is what you use as your visa throughout your study. And then you'd be able to collect your key. So you'd be sent information on all this once you've made your application. So not to worry. Airport pickup service. So we've got an airport pickup service as a mode of transportation of getting to the to Plymouth. There's other ways of getting to Plymouth, or understandably, train or coach. These are all of the different methods. Obviously, airport pickup service would be the most expensive at this point, but if for some
Not
reason,
quite the most expensive, Toby, because whatever you do, don't just expect to land at the airport, walk outside and get in a standard taxi, because that will be very much more expensive. So make sure you have booked something in advance.
absolutely.
There's a booking form on our website for our airport pickup service. That's a trusted local company we've been working with for many years. You can take a car by yourself, or you can choose to share that with a number of other students, which obviously brings the price down a little. So you can see there the price of our airport pickup service by taxi, but as Toby mentioned, lots of other options, train, coach, lots of other options.
Thank you. And yes, these will all be provided to you in the pre-departure guide. So you'd be sent a guide very soon that updates you with all the information and ways of getting to Plymouth. So not to worry, you don't have to take all the details now. It just gives you an overview of what to expect. I mentioned it earlier about your BRP and collecting that. You pick that up from the post office. You email UKVI reporting and inform them that you've arrived in the UK, and then they'll send you what we call the right to study check, at which point you have to upload all your details there, and then you'll be given the ability to enroll. Okay. In regards to the medical center, Tim.
Yeah, the University Medical Center that you can see there, that's right in the heart of the campus. You can see there's a pharmacy attached to it as well. All you have to do to be able to access the University Medical Center is to register at the local GP, a doctor, and then you have access to the medical center on the campus.
Fantastic. And does that include prescriptions? Can I get that for free then, Tim?
There's no such thing as a free prescription here in the UK. There's a standard charge, which I think is around £9.50 now of that order. So obviously very much less than the cost of the actual medications would be, not quite free. But if you need a prescription, you can pick that up in the pharmacy that you can see there.
Fantastic. And enrollment, so the big E word. Enrollment commences on the 8th of May. We understand that that's a public holiday, so not to worry necessarily. Yes, so that's a public holiday. So yes, it will be the week commencing the 8th of May. So we will be open the Friday before for any students who are arriving earlier. Not to worry, on that day, we will see you the next working day, which will be the 9th. On the 15th of May applies to pre-master's students or postgraduate students. The week after these dates will be when your teaching starts. We always employ students that make sure that they get here from the first day of orientation so they can get the access to all the different activities that we're going to arrange for them. Okay, on the day of registration, there's a list of documents there that will be handy for you to have on you. Obviously, booking accommodation is very important before you arrive. We understand that in some cases you'd like to see the accommodation, but we really implore you to book the accommodation first. You know, we're living in a digital age. I believe there are members of the Clever Student-led sales team that can even take you on a virtual tour of the accommodation you're going into. So you can WhatsApp call or FaceTime just to see what the room that you have booked looks like before you arrive. On day 5 of the welcome talks, we have program-specific talks with different individuals at the college. So you meet some of your tutors. You have a welcome talk from the college management team. So the principal, the director of student and academic services. You're given instructions of how to join your classes and the introduction on the student portal. All this information is provided on the day 5 of the welcome talk. So we really advise that you arrive on time so you can get the best outcome, okay? And over here on the slide, we're just looking at some of the important dates for orientation. and arrival. So, you know, when your undergraduate classes start, when the postgraduate classes start, the fees for any student that's on an undergraduate program that's progressing to September, when that's due, and also some information on when the examinations will start and finish and the end of semester. So you can make some plans for any of you who'd like to return home over the semester break.
I would just support what Toby was saying there about making sure, if you possibly can, get here for the start of the orientation program. It just means you've got time to adjust, to find your feet, to find your way around the university and the city. So much easier to do that, and with our support through the various induction activities, than if you arrive late, you come straight into classes, you're already doing assessed work, you don't know where to get your food from. So much more stressful if you arrive late. Do everything you can, please, to get here for the start of orientation.
And we mentioned representation within the student union, within, you know, as a sabbatical officer. We've had in the past I think probably about last year was the only year where we didn't have a UPIC representative or a previous UPIC student on the sabbatical team, but it's very well represented there. Tonari, the girl in the middle, has just become the president for this new academic year. So there's a lot of change. There's a lot of opportunities for students, different people from different nationalities there to assist you. So yeah, please have a look at the Students' Union website and you'll be able to get some more information. Amber, would you like to talk a little bit about social media?
Yeah, of course. So this is our social media presence. We have Instagram, we have Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So our handle is @UPIC. So please do have a look. What we try to promote is all the things that are going on. So any fun activities, any study opportunities, anything that we feel will be of interest to you, we will put on our socials, especially the Insta story. So we link up with the Students' Union quite a lot. We do some collabs with the main university. We just want to make sure you are as involved as you want to be, and everybody's kind of integrated and working together. So yeah, feel free, have a look now, check out your socials, follow us. And if you have any questions, you can also contact us, send us a message, and we'll get back to you.
Thank you, Amber. And here are some of our contact details. Myself and Tim are on here, but on the call, as we said, we've got Maria, Shubomi, and Amber who can all assist you as well. So let's just go through a few Q&As then, shall we, Tim and team? How can I enroll if I haven't received my visa yet?
Oh, you can't, Toby, can you? No, there's a process here. So this is why we need to get everything done in good time. We have deadlines before the intake to make sure that we can issue with your CAS. The CAS is what you need to make your visa application. You'll need your visa so that you can enter the UK and come and enroll with us.
So I can't enroll online then, Tim?
No, everything now is on campus.
Can I live anywhere in the UK? Can I arrive in Manchester and stay there with my cousin?
No, you can't. That wouldn't be practical. So the college day is typically between 9 and 5, Monday to Friday. You won't be doing classes all day, every day, but you do need to be sure that where you live is close enough that you can get here routinely by 9 o'clock in the morning, and close enough that if you have a class that finishes after 5, you can get back home comfortably and safely as well. So yeah, there's lots of accommodation available, which is really close by, lower cost than most places in the UK. So please don't think that going and living in London and staying with family is going to be less expensive for you. It won't be. Very easy to travel around the UK at the weekend if you want to, but please just try and make sure that you're living close by so that during the week you can focus on your studies.
Can I pay, when do I have to pay the second installment of my fees, Tim, if I'm on an undergraduate program?
Second installment of your fees?
Yeah.
If I wanted to know the answer to that question, I would come and ask you, Toby, I think.
Fantastic.
But it's 50% in advance. So it's, as most of you probably know by now, it's 100% advance payment for pre-master students and 50% for undergraduate. And then the balance, Toby, is due
week 9. And also, it's not just the balance that's due in week 9, it's due out one go in week 9. So unfortunately, under these circumstances, we're unable to provide any installmental payments. It's very important, even before you arrive, that you start making arrangements to get that payment in for week 9 of that teaching semester. So if you are paying through or you have paid through Form A, start getting the next lot of Form A applications in towards your week 9 payment. I believe that's due on the 14th of July. So yes, I'd start now if that's possible. How early can I arrive in Plymouth, Tim?
You can arrive early if you like, up to a month in advance of the start date. Your visa will specify the dates when you're actually allowed to arrive, the earliest you can arrive, and also the last arrival date. Great to arrive a little bit early, give yourself a chance to find your way around, sort out your accommodation and everything. But don't arrive so early that you end up being bored with nothing to do. So a week or two in advance is fine. Please make sure that you get here for the start of orientation. Don't arrive late, but yeah, there's some flexibility around that.
Maria, if I arrive in the UK, can I take a week and visit my family in London before I come to Plymouth? Sorry, Maria, you're mute. There we go.
Yeah, okay, I've just unmuted myself. Sorry, my voice. I lost my voice. Yeah, if you arrive the UK, first, the most important thing is for you to go to school and ensure enrollment is done. So visiting family and friends at this time when you've not finalized enrollment and other things is not the best option for you. Sorry about my voice, please.
No problem at all. It was Sunday yesterday. I'm sure you were singing. And Shubomi, do I need a laptop if I'm studying at UPIC?
Yeah, yes, you do. It's very necessary. But if you don't have anyone, when you get to Plymouth, I'm sure you get something cheaper that you'll be able to work with.
Fantastic. Can I not study on my phone? Can I not use my iPhone to study?
It's not advisable. It's not advisable. You still need a system to work with.
It's not practical, is it, to study on your phone? You're going to need access to all of the basic Microsoft packages, for example, Word, Excel. So yeah, you do need a laptop, but you can, as Shubomi says, you can pick one up, a good quality laptop, actually secondhand in Plymouth if you need to, or new. The library is open 24/7, and there are computer rooms in the library around the campus as well. But you're going to want to do some work at home too. So you have that flexibility if you have your own laptop. So strongly recommended. Toby, what's the last day I can arrive in the UK?
The last day you can arrive in the UK is probably the day before your orientation week. But yeah, absolute last day is done from, on a case-by-case basis, but we would always advise the Friday before orientation is the last day you should arrive in the UK. If for any reason you've got any delays for any personal reasons, I'd implore you to contact a member of the team, the UPIC team, any one of us, and just inform us, and then we can speak to you on a case-by-case basis of, the absolute last day for you to arrive.
Important to say at pre-masters level, isn't it? But it's a short program. There's only a limited number of weeks of teaching. So if you miss any, you're immediately missing a high proportion of the program. And that, that limits, restricts your opportunities to be successful on the program. So yeah, definitely get here for orientation week if you can, but absolutely for postgraduate, no later than the first day of teaching.
Amber, what's the first thing I should do when I arrive at the UK airport?
There are so many things you can do, Toby, honestly, but what we would suggest is just to let us know that you've arrived. So get in touch with the student experience team. So tell Toby that you're here. And yeah, travel down to Plymouth, make sure everything's all good with your Accomo, and then, yeah, do whatever you fancy. What would you say, Toby? Does that make, he looks like he's chatting to somebody. Oh, he's back in the room. Does that make sense? Do you reckon?
Yes, absolutely. I think that makes sense. Apologies. So yeah, thank you so much for taking my questions, team. In case anybody else within the audience has any more questions, I'd ask you to put that through the Q&A. I can see we've already had 13 or so questions asked, which is really good. I like an engaging audience. It's nice to see all of you. I think we have up to 28 people in the room at the moment, so that's really good, a really good turnout.
Yeah, Toby, I think we have some raising their hands, so you can take that.
Okay, great. Hold on, let me have a look. Yeah, so Jude, I'm bringing you to the floor. How can we help, Jude? You can unmute your mic.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Hello, good morning. Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Like 2 persons are speaking.
Yeah, it does sound like 2 people on one call. In that case, would you guys mind putting the information in the chat and then we can answer it publicly? That would be probably the best option.
Hello.
Hello, yep.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Fine, thank you.
So how can we help you today?
We actually got an admission for May intake.
Great. What are you studying?
It's psychology.
Okay.
Yeah. So the issue now on ground is that, this due to low shortage of currency.
Right.
Yeah, we are unable to make the payment for the school fees.
Okay. Are you a pre-master's student or or an undergrad student?
Pre-masters. It's
Okay.
pre-master.
Okay. Yes, the payment date was due on Friday last week.
Yeah. So I would want to ask if we can defer the admission to September.
Yes, absolutely. That's not a problem. We just need to look into whether or not there is a master's program running in January. So if you could do me a favor and just write your ID in a chat, I'll get either Maria or Shubomi to contact you directly and provide you with an option as to whether or not that program is running in September for January masters. Okay. Most, if not all, our masters are available during our May intake, but in some occasions, it's not available for the January. So it's very important that we check that before we defer your offer. Okay.
Okay. Can I ask one more question?
Of course.
I actually uploaded my YCAM scratch card. So I got an email. They said the scratch card was invalid.
Okay.
So immediately I used it here to check that same WAEC results. It was showing valid.
Ah, okay. Tim, any?
I was asked to, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Sorry. Go on.
To send in another WAEC scratch card again, which I'm yet to do because that very first one is still valid.
Okay.
It's valid over here. And lastly, I would want to ask another question.
Yep.
I don't know if there is a disability fund for students from Nigeria.
Okay.
And if there is scholarship, maybe when we are starting the main master's class, if there's going to be a scholarship for students with disability and all that.
Okay.
I think there are 2 separate issues there, really. So if you have a disability, if you let us know about that and the kind of support that you need, there is a lot of support that the university can provide to make sure you have the same kind of access to opportunity that all students have. So there's lots of disability support. Scholarships, so it wouldn't usually be financial support for somebody with a disability. It'd be more about practical support, but the university does have generally a very generous scholarship fund for international students. So we
Okay.
can share the details about that with you.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're
You're
welcome.
very welcome. Have a good day.
You too.
So we have Simran would like to ask a question as well. Simran, would you like to ask a question? I think you're on mute at the moment. Okay. Let's try.
Hi, Simran. I think you just come on off mute.
Okay.
Good afternoon, sir.
Hi, good afternoon. How are you?
Oh, fine, sir.
So how can we help?
Sir, I apply international Plymouth universities
Okay.
intake my,
Yep.
but I have not received interview.
Okay. What country are you from, Simran?
UK.
You're based in the UK, are you?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Simran, if you have a copy of the application ID, and if you could put it into the chat function, I'll get one of our admissions team to take a look at that for you.
Oh, okay, sir. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much. Is there any other questions?
No, sir.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
And we have Olaye here.
Loye, I think you're still on mute. You would need to unmute. No.
No.
Let's try Hakarat. Hakarat Singh.
Yes, sir. Hello.
Hello there. How are you?
Oh, hi. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, sir. Actually, I got the offer letter from the Plymouth, and I just want to know about. I got the main take for the business management. So,
Great.
how long it take for the interview? I didn't receive that.
We will have completed all of the interviews within the next week or so. So if you haven't had an invitation yet, you will be getting one very soon. And then the date that we offer you will be within a couple of days of the invitation going out. So hopefully by the end of this week.
All right. Thank you so much. Thanks
You're
so
very
much.
welcome.
You're very welcome.
All
Have
right.
a good day.
Have a good.
We're getting more people joining us a bit late, but it's okay. The recording of this will be sent out, so not a problem if you've just come in at the end.
We'll post it on our YouTube channel as well, as Amber mentioned. We use lots of different social media, but we have a YouTube channel as well. So once we have a recording of a Zoom session, we'll post it up on the YouTube channel, and you can go and have a look at that and all of the other fun and interesting stuff that we have on there.
There's a couple questions here that I'm sure we can answer live. How can we apply for jobs when we get to Plymouth?
Lots of part-time work available. As Toby mentioned earlier, we're coming into the summer season, which is there's a lot of tourism industry in Plymouth. Lots of hotels, even the ferries employ seasonal staff. Lots of retail opportunities. There may be even opportunities on campus. The university has a careers office that has a listing of all the currently available part-time jobs. There are lots of employment agencies in the city. So lots of information available. Just a reminder that during term time, it's a maximum of 20 hours a week of paid employment, but more hours during the holidays outside of term time.
Great. And how can we apply for jobs when we get, actually, we've done that one, sorry. I got the offer from the university and I cleared my interview. I already gave, I got the, right. I think the other person who's asked the question is saying that they've just received their IELTS, recent IELTS results, and they're wondering whether or not a condition can be removed from their offer. Anonymous attendee, what would we advise is for you to put your application ID in the chat or send an email to the admissions team. So admissions@upic.plymouth.ac.uk, and someone will update that for you. Okay, yeah, I think we've covered most of the questions there. Any more questions for myself and the team?
I think we're up to date on the chat and the Q&A, are we?
Yeah.
I can see lots of questions there we've been able to answer. So thank you very much, everybody, for all of your questions. It's always so much better when we do these webinars if we have good levels of interaction with the audience. So thank you very much for all of your questions. If there are no more questions, I'll just wrap up by thanking my colleagues for all of their help in the presentation this morning. So thank you, everybody. Thank you to all of our future Plymouth students who are able to join us. And we very much look forward to welcoming you to Plymouth in May. So yeah, thanks, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.
Thank you all.
Yeah, bye. Thank you.
Thank you for joining. Bye.
Bye.